Hey everyone, that time once again for a Discovery edition of The Final Cut. Got an interesting one for you though. We're looking at an independent Blu-ray release of Murdercise. Yes, from directors Angelica de Alba and Paul Ragsdale, who directs this story about a sleazy fitness video production set. Yes, they've got one night to complete this movie, and well, things are complicated because Phoebe is a Reagan-loving, very serious actress who thinks this is going to further her career, and she's butting heads with Candy, who's the lead actress, who has been in a number of films but is very much aware of what type of movie they're making. Complicate things worse is that one by one the actresses start showing up being brutally murdered in mean and nasty ways, but who's doing it? Is it the serial killer who is on the loose in the area, or are one of these actresses taking their conflicts with their co-stars to another level? Yeah, Murdercise is one of those send-up films to 80s B horror slasher movies, that kind of like the Sorority House Massacre type film. So it's trying to be something like that, only instead of a sorority, we have a group of actresses shooting a fitness video. So I kind of liked that spin, and there's a whole lot of neon going on in the costuming as well to get the idea across that this is the 80s. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot of different locations in that. They keep things to within their budget, and I thought the production value of the film was decent as well, especially when it gets to the makeup effects and such in here, and the audio stays level as well. So all of the technical aspects for a lower budget production film, are decent. They're solid, and even if they are a little rough in spots, well, that just adds to the fact that this is supposed to be one of those genre films. Now, you have a talented group of individuals gathered here. A lot of them are folks who are just taking the indie scene by storm, and they seem to be everywhere lately. We've got August Kiss in here as Tatiana. I thought she did very well in this role. She got more screen time than on a couple of the other films where we've seen her in, so that was nice to see. And yeah, she got into the role quite a bit. We got Adriana Ushishiba as Nikki. We've seen her in a few other films, and she did well as this character who is kind of trying to stay out of the conflict, but not really. Candy is played by Jessa Flux. Now, Candy is the veteran actress, and Jessa does this role so well. She's just having so much fun butting heads with Phoebe, played by Kansas Bowling, a name we've mentioned here as well. So yeah, a lot of talent in front of the camera. Kansas does great. There's this wonderful scene where she ends up taking the lead, and she's trying to lead their fitness dance. But I think, yeah, she's had some mind-altering substance, and it's hilarious because you can tell everyone involved in this production knows what type of film they're making, and the comedy comes in them over-exaggerating such things and such elements that made those B-movie genre tropes in the 80s, so trope basically. So they play up to those quite a bit. Ginger Lynn in here as Dominica Stromboli. Loved the fact she got more screen time in here. You don't always get that with her being in some of these indie productions. She only gets one scene. She has more than one scene in here, and she moves the plot and other things along as well. Then we got Nina Lani Kent in here as Isabella. There's an interesting dynamic between Isabella and Phoebe that I really liked. Kansas and Nina seem to really have some great chemistry in there, and they get some wonderful scenes. Yes, there is blood and guts in here, and it does put a little bit of a twist on the normal genre of slasher, and yeah, I think it does decently. But what about this release that we have? Well, let's take a look, shall we? First off, you get this wonderful cover in here featuring the entire cast, Murdercise, in, of course, pink and yellow, because one for the fitness video aspect and the other for that kind of 80s homage send-up. So I love that, the deadliest aerobics video ever made. And yes, there is a chainsaw in here. Could it be an ode to Hollywood chainsaw hookers? Not sure, but it is used in here effectively. And then on the spine, it's an interesting approach to the spine that they take here as well. We've got a couple of the actresses on here in the title, and then on the back, the description, as well as a few production photos. Chuck, I forgot to, how could I forget to mention Chuck, played by Drew Maverick? He's my favorite character in here. Oh my God. He is hilarious. He adds to some of the funniest moments in this movie. And I just enjoy his portrayal as well. Drew Maverick really playing it up and does well as Chuck. And so he's on the back there. Then inside we get a picture. And if that doesn't give you an idea of what type of camera angles you get on some of that fitness video they're shooting, well, there you go right there on that card they provide, which is great that they include that. And then Murdercise disc is actually a full covered print featuring the same image as the poster, but the fact that they went full color and image with it is very impressive, especially for an indie release. Now, how about them features? Well, we do have a animated menu, thankfully. And if we go into the special features, there's 4 things going on here. They do feature the original trailer in here. There's 3 minutes of bloopers, which are fun to watch, especially after you watch the movie is what I recommend, doing the special features afterwards. And then you get the film that Candy was in, Jessa Flux's character was in. So they show clips of a previous film Candy was in, and they feature that here in the special features. You get to see all of that footage that they shot to for that movie that Candy was in. And then finally, there is the BTS stuff, the making of Murdercise. It's impressive that this is actually longer than the movie itself. They include everything on there, but if you ever wanted a wonderful window into just what it's like to shoot an indie film, that's your special feature, folks. It's like an hour and 57 minutes or something. I think they feature a Q&A in there, one of the screenings that they had. And there's so much in it. And yeah, if you're interested in just how it was made and all the goings on behind it, you'll want to check that out. So yeah, impressive special features and a release for an indie film. So if you're into this type of movie or a fan of any of the actresses or actors I mentioned, you'll want to check out Murdercise. It's out on Tubi now, but screw that. See where you can find the disc at, because physical media is where it's at, folks, as you know. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.